And more than 80% of the luxury leather products like handbags, purses, and shoes of Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Gucci, Coach, Prada, you name it. Most of them are made in China.
The field is TikTok. It is flooded with such factory videos. Chinese suppliers are reaching out to American customers direct.
Louis Vuitton has been caught red-handed by the very factories it tried to keep hidden. Explosive leaks from inside Chinese manufacturing plants reveal that those $3,000 luxury bags are being mass-produced for as little as $15, right alongside counterfeit versions. Now the truth is out, and angry customers are raiding Louis Vuitton stores across the globe, demanding refunds and answers. TikTok is flooded with factory footage, and the brand's centuries-old illusion of European craftsmanship is collapsing in real time. This is not just a scandal, it's a full-blown luxury apocalypse.
Makes 80% of your designer bags.
Who's the Chinese supplier behind Under Armour? Shenzhou International.
Nike shoes from China to your country?
Who are the suppliers behind Salomon, Timberland, New Balance, Adidas, Nike, la 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 la? First, Baocheng Factory.
It's not just calling them out. They're showing the world exactly where your $1,000 handbag or your $100 leggings are really being made. They're now offering you the same exact stuff, no middleman, no markup. In a bold move that seems more like economic warfare than manufacturing, Chinese workers are lifting the lid on $1 billion.
According to multiple factory workers, supply chain analysts, and investigative reports, over 80% of luxury leather goods are produced in China, including bags, belts, and shoes from Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Gucci, Prada, and Coach. That's right, the same brands that proudly flaunt their French and Italian heritage are outsourcing the lion's share of their production to Chinese factories. And here's the kicker. These products are often shipped to Europe after being made in Asia, just to receive a country of origin label like Made in France, before landing in luxury boutiques worldwide. Consumers are paying thousands for a fantasy of European craftsmanship, while the real work happens under fluorescent lights in Guangzhou. Insiders reveal that factories producing these goods often operate under strict confidentiality agreements. These non-disclosure contracts prevent workers from leaking details. But with the rise of TikTok and Weibo exposés, that silence is breaking. Videos directly from Chinese factory floors show workers assembling bags that look identical to high-end designs, minus the logo. These same bags are sold at a fraction of the price online, triggering outrage from luxury brand loyalists.
Though these brands brag about being made in Europe, the video claims that more than half of Louis Vuitton's bags are actually made in China.
The digital age has become luxury fashion's worst nightmare. TikTok, once just a dance app, is now a truth bomb platform where whistleblowers are exposing the industry's dirtiest secrets. Workers and small manufacturers from China have begun posting footage of the manufacturing process behind designer goods. No logo, no branding, just raw production. These videos often show dozens of identical bags being made on a conveyor belt, with captions like, "Guess where this ends up?" The shocking part? Many of these manufacturers have started cutting out the middlemen entirely. They're now selling the same bags directly to Western customers through platforms like Alibaba, DHgate, and TikTok shops. Some even advertise, "Same factory, no brand." For consumers, it's a slap in the face. Why pay $3,000 for a Gucci tote when you can get an identical one for $150? This shift is more than a disruption, it's a revolution. Luxury brands are losing control of the narrative, and TikTok has become ground zero for transparency. And while some users defend the brands, calling the factory leaks misleading, the videos don't lie. People are seeing with their own eyes what they were never meant to see. The fallout isn't limited to the digital space. Customers, armed with footage and screenshots, have started confronting luxury store staff in person. At Louis Vuitton locations in major cities like New York, London, and Tokyo, angry shoppers are walking in not to browse, but to demand answers. Some bring up TikTok videos. Others flat out ask, "Is this made in China?" The stunned staff, often unaware themselves, are left speechless. This backlash has sparked what some fashion analysts call a brand identity crisis. For years, Louis Vuitton and its peers sold not just bags, but heritage. They sold the idea of a master craftsman in a French village carefully stitching every seam. Now, that narrative is imploding and customers feel duped. Online forums are flooded with betrayal posts. "I spent my life saving on a Chanel bag, and it's made in the same place as fake ones." It's a moment of reckoning for an entire industry. Trust is evaporating, and in the luxury world, trust isn't just valuable, it's everything. Obsessed with celeb gossip? Smash that subscribe for Sarah's gossip! We sling fresh, unfiltered star drama daily. Hurry! Next bombshell's dropping soon! Perhaps the most outrageous revelation came from inside the very walls of a southern Chinese factory. A worker anonymously claimed that manufacturing a Louis Vuitton handbag costs just around $15, a figure that sent shockwaves across social media. This isn't just a slight markup. It's a cosmic leap from factory to boutique. $15,000 to $3,000? This isn't about quality. It's about illusion. Brands justify the markup by pointing to artisanship. But when you see these bags rolling off a factory belt by the dozens, the myth starts to crumble. The $15 claim lines up with broader data from manufacturing insiders who say even with high-grade leather and skilled labor, costs rarely exceed $50 per unit. The remaining thousands? Marketing, branding, and pure profit. For consumers, this feels less like business and more like betrayal. It's not just the price, it's the hypocrisy. These are the same brands who look down on fast fashion for cutting corners. Now they're exposed for doing the same, just with a fancier font and bigger price tag. For decades, Louis Vuitton and its peers have paraded French ateliers, elderly artisans, and romantic tales of European heritage. But the viral factory footage has ripped that fantasy to shreds. Most of the labor is outsourced. The final stitching, often symbolic. Items might get a zipper or handle added in Italy, just enough to legally stamp made in Italy, but everything else? Fabricated thousands of miles away. This practice, known as origin laundering, is technically legal, but ethically murky. The labels we trust to signify quality are now exposed as loopholes, and the public is furious. Why? Because that European label was the entire justification for the $2,000 markup. It wasn't just a bag, it was supposed to be history, culture, legacy. Instead, consumers are waking up to the realization that their luxury investment might be little more than an expensive mirage. And now that the illusion is gone, what's left to believe in?
Guys shall receive. You want a tutorial? I got you. So let's just click my link in my bio, and it's going to take you to my landing page. Just scroll down a little bit, and here you will find the spreadsheet. This is if you want my personalized help, and this is if you want anything added to the spreadsheet. So let's go ahead and click my spreadsheet. So here we have all of the vendors that I've compiled for you.
Inside the murky supply chain of luxury goods, whistleblowers are quickly becoming either internet heroes or corporate targets. From anonymous TikTok accounts to brave Reddit posters, workers and insiders have risked everything to show the world the ugly truth hiding behind luxury's glossy facade. But their revelations come at a steep cost. Many of these whistleblowers report being threatened, doxxed, or legally silenced with aggressive cease and desist letters from brand lawyers. It's no accident. These companies are protecting billion-dollar narratives. Some of these whistleblowers reveal they were offered hush money, others simply vanished from social media after a viral post. One particularly chilling case involved a user who posted side-by-side footage of a Chanel bag being made in a Dongguan factory and the same model being sold on Fifth Avenue for $4,000. That account was scrubbed from every platform within 48 hours. Coincidence? Highly unlikely. Still, a new wave of insiders is rising. Less afraid, more strategic. Using VPNs, encrypted chats, and burner accounts, they're turning the tide of secrecy. They're framing this as a moral crusade, not just for transparency, but for the rights of factory workers earning pennies on the dollar while brands rake in obscene profits. And audiences are listening. For every post that disappears, a dozen more spring up. The truth is becoming harder and riskier to bury. This growing movement paints luxury conglomerates as bullies trying to silence the truth rather than fix it. Instead of addressing labor conditions or misleading marketing, many brands double down with more aggressive PR campaigns, but consumers aren't buying it. The era of blind loyalty is ending, and whistleblowers, once dismissed as disgruntled workers, are now the new watchdogs of fashion.
Decades, we have been conditioned to believe that China is just one giant sweatshop pumping out crap while we are the sophisticated, high-end innovators. And it turns out China has just been patiently waiting for us to be completely dependent upon their manufacturers. They have been mastering every technology, absorbing every industry, and then building an empire that doesn't need us half as much as we need.
Luxury brands don't just sell bags, they sell a lifestyle. and celebrities are the vessels of that illusion. But in the wake of these revelations, even A-listers are finding themselves entangled in the scandal. Images of celebrities flaunting their French craftsmanship handbags are now being juxtaposed with viral videos showing similar designs made in Chinese factories. The result? A credibility crisis. Not just for the brands, but for the stars who endorse them. Social media users are turning their frustration toward influencers and celebrities alike. Comments flood under every Louis Vuitton-sponsored post. Did you check where that's made? Or hope you didn't pay $3,000 for a $15 bag. Even luxury stalwarts like Kim Kardashian and Bella Hadid aren't immune. Every time they show off a new luxury item, they inadvertently fuel the controversy. Some stars have tried to defend the brands, claiming heritage still matters, or the quality is worth it. But these responses ring hollow to a public, armed with evidence. Others have gone silent altogether, perhaps to avoid picking a side. A few bold influencers, however, are breaking ranks, publicly admitting they feel deceived and vowing to stop promoting products without full transparency. That shift is seismic. When the very faces that built the brand start walking away, it's more than a PR problem. It's an identity collapse. Celebrities were once untouchable endorsers. Now, they're being held accountable. And the public is asking a dangerous question. How much did you know? Amid the designer logos and velvet-lined stores lies an uncomfortable truth. Much of this industry's foundation is built on exploited labor. These Chinese factories, some operating legally, others in gray zones, employ workers under grueling conditions. Long hours, minimal breaks, repetitive injuries, and wages that barely scratch the surface of fair compensation. Luxury profits, it turns out, are built on a backbone of underpaid ghost workers. Many of these employees are women, often migrants from rural areas who live in cramped dormitories on factory grounds. They don't get benefits. They don't get overtime, and they certainly don't get recognition. Their hands stitch the seams that celebrities flaunt, but their lives remain invisible. Worse yet, these factories often subcontract work to unregistered workshops where labor laws are non-existent, creating an even murkier trail for accountability. What's more shocking is that this labor exploitation mirrors the very practices luxury brands claim to abhor in fast fashion. They publicly distance themselves from the likes of Shein and Zara, all while engaging in eerily similar behaviors behind closed doors. It's hypocrisy at its peak, championing ethical fashion on one hand while outsourcing to the same, exploitative systems on the other. Now, activists and NGOs are turning their attention toward the luxury sector, demanding audits, worker protections, and full supply chain transparency. Some brands are scrambling to comply, others staying silent, hoping the outrage fades. But the public is no longer willing to look away. In an era where even your phone case can be ethically sourced, the $4,000 handbag better live up to more than just a logo.
A statement has been released to the press, seemingly from a source close to Louis Vuitton. In their statement, the source close to the brand said, "Louis Vuitton want everyone to know that what these people are saying is completely false and untrue, and they want everyone to understand that every item LV releases is made under meticulously high standards."
One of the strangest twists in this entire saga, the line between real and fake luxury has never been blurrier. Many of the so-called replicas sold online are made in the exact same factories as the originals, the same materials, the same machines, sometimes even the same workers, just minus the branding. It's no longer just imitation, it's duplication. This has created a bizarre paradox where counterfeit goods can be just as well made, if not more so, than their branded counterparts. Some factories reportedly run 2 shifts, one for the official brand, one for the black market. And with quality nearly identical, customers are left asking, why pay more? Suddenly, the social shame of wearing fakes is vanishing. In fact, some wear it as a badge of rebellion against overpriced illusion. Meanwhile, luxury brands are ramping up efforts to distinguish themselves, not through quality, but through verification tags, blockchain certificates, and NFC chip authentication. But even these high-tech solutions are being spoofed. The counterfeit market has evolved, mirroring every innovation from the brands themselves. This trend is gutting luxury's power. If the main appeal was exclusivity, but anyone can buy a near-perfect dupe, what's the point? The threat isn't just fakes, it's obsolescence. When the difference is only a logo, the value proposition collapses. The prestige of owning real luxury is no longer a guarantee of status. It's a question of gullibility. The luxury fashion industry now faces a reckoning more severe than any economic downturn or seasonal slump. This isn't about fluctuating sales. It's about a broken foundation. The myth of exclusivity has cracked wide open, and rebuilding trust will be nothing short of Herculean. But will brands adapt or double down? Some insiders say change is already happening. A few luxury houses are investing in local production again, bringing workshops back to Europe, offering tours of their ateliers, and hiring actual craftspeople instead of outsourcing. Others are launching transparency campaigns, revealing full supply chains and cost breakdowns. But these are the exceptions, not the rule. Most still hide behind marketing smokescreens and curated Instagram feeds. The biggest challenge? Consumer awakening. Today's shoppers aren't the same ones from 5 years ago. They demand authenticity, ethics, and accountability, and they can smell a PR stunt from a mile away. Gen Z and millennials, now dominant luxury consumers, care more about truth than tradition, and they're not afraid to cancel brands that betray their values. For luxury to survive, it must evolve, not by slapping a higher price tag or inventing a new logo, but by earning back the trust it so carelessly lost. The era of untouchable prestige is over. Welcome to the age of informed indulgence, where the real luxury isn't a label, it's transparency. So now the mask has fallen, and what's underneath is nothing like the luxury we thought we were buying. From Louis Vuitton's supposed French craftsmanship to those sleek Made in Italy tags, we've seen how easily illusion replaces reality. Mass production, Chinese factories, sky-high markups, and manipulated labels. It's a luxury empire built more on image than integrity. But maybe the real luxury is knowledge. Now that you've seen behind the scenes, what do you think? Are these brands still worth the price? Or has the magic worn off? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear what you believe. And if you want more unfiltered truths about the brands you thought you knew, hit that like button and subscribe, because this is just the beginning.